have that positive energy. I
Sure.
think
I love that perspective towards life.
Yes. And just to be alive is a blessing. The fact that I'm here. I told my son the other day, because we were having a conversation dealing with his depression, and I do have a therapist, by the way. And I said to him, do you realize that this is something that, because the context of the conversation had a lot to do with suicide. And I said, when I look at you and your son, your brother, I realize that, let's say one of my diseases kills me tomorrow. I'm okay with that. I'm not afraid, because I put out into the world two amazing human beings that are going to go on. You're an extension of me. So I don't fear death. I don't welcome it. I don't want it to come anytime soon, but I really feel comfortable with the path I'm on. I think that even though it may not be perfect, it's mine, and it's the path that God set out for me. And the best thing that I could do is just live it to the best that I can, and be grateful, because I think it's so important to be grateful for all our moments, the good and the bad, everything. And I've had a lot of difficult moments, but I'm glad for them, because I am who I am because of the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Absolutely, absolutely. Paz, I know that you're an author and also you wrote a memoir, right? So how did you get to where you are right now?
The memoir?
That's right. As an author, I wanted to know, how did you get to this point that you're at now, being an author and also writing a memoir?
Well, it's I like I said, I had always written, but when my mother passed away, I was really angry and depressed, and I couldn't even go outside. I really truly felt that she had taken a part of me. Like, I was soulless. And so when I overheard my children say to my husband, when is mom going to, like, come back to life? I realized that my depression and my grief was almost selfish, and perhaps it was selfish. And so I needed to get it out of my system, and I wrote a letter to my mother. And I wrote her this letter, and I told her I was mad that she left. And, well, it's, you can imagine, a very emotional, just pour it out, pour your heart out letter. And I don't know if it was answered, but the very next day, I took out my laptop and I started to write the memoir. I wrote the memoir in a few weeks. It was quick. And it was something that I needed to put out into the world, because I wanted people to understand and know my parents and what they went through, biracial and, multicultural, Black, white, Hispanic, assimilation issues, how brave they were to come to this country with nothing, yet learn a language and work and buy a house and raise their children. I wanted them to live, and they do. They live on in my book, in the memoir. And that memoir, it tells the stories of when I was a kid and the things I went through and the things I did, and it also tells my parents' story. It's almost like a little journal. It's not like a novel in a way, but it's my memoirs, my memories, and that was the stepping stone to my authorship, being an author, because I finally said, I'm going to publish this. I'm going to put this out there. If someone doesn't want to read it, then that's fine. But somebody somewhere will have a mom like me, will have had a dad
that's
like
right.
me. And that is where I felt like I started to shine from within. Maybe I can't look in the mirror, but I felt like I was shining for the first time, because I just let it out and I stopped hiding. I'm not hiding right now. I'm doing a podcast. I'm not hiding anymore in that sense. So that memoir was
That's
very
right.
important.
Good to know.
Thank you. And it was cathartic, very cathartic, because it changed a lot of things in my personal life. And it just put me out there. And I've met a lot of good people and met so many talented people and been able to share with people. Some people have written to me about my books, and in particular the memoir, have said, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. My mom used to do that. My mom used to make that. She used to say that. Or, you know, the Cuban experience of having, you know, so that was nice to touch lives and to somehow help somebody else, maybe if they're dealing with grief. Because someone did write to me about that, about the fact that they were having a difficult time getting over the death of their spouse. And that reading the memoir, even though we have completely different cultures and upbringings, it made her realize that she could do it, that she, you know, life goes on, and that there's nothing wrong with living because someone has passed. We all go that direction. We're not going to live forever. There is no fountain of youth. The fountain of youth is something in our hearts and in our minds that even if you're 100, at heart you still feel like you're a child and you can laugh and enjoy yourself. That is a fountain of youth. Is joy.
That's right. That's
joy
right.
in the moment.
That's right.
So,
awesome.
yes.
I love your positive perspective towards life. I'm really loving it, right? Yours is truly touching and inspiring. I thank you so much.
Thank you.
Paz, right, for your time on the show today. Really worthwhile and truly inspiring story you got here. Do you have any projects you're working on?
I am working on the third novel of, I have a series called Just Finn about a young man that has autism, Asperger syndrome. And he was inspired by my brother. And I'm working on the third one. And I'm also working on other stories coming off the memoir, which will be about all the individual characters in the book. Well, they were real, but I'm going to sort of make like little fiction stories, half true, half fiction, from Plantains and the Seven Plagues, which was the memoir. So I have a lot going on right now that I'm working on at the same time.
Oh, awesome. I wish you best of luck in this project. Any parting words you'd like to share with my audience?
Oh, yes. Live today. Be grateful for what you have. Let's not be ungrateful, especially in a world like today where we have diseases that can kill us. There's so many things. If you can help someone that's hungry or poor or sick or sad, maybe there's something you can say or do that will change their way, that'll make their day, because we only have today. We really, truly only have right now. And that's something I believe, and I live that way. So.
All right. Thank you for that motivating line.
Thank you.
Thank you once again, Paz. Right. Any social media you like us to connect with?
I am on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. I have my website, which is pazellis.com. BookBub, Goodreads. Sure I'm leaving something out, but I there's pieces of me everywhere.
Great. Good to know.
Thank you.
Such energy, right? I love that energy, right? Keep it up.
Thank you so much, Omobola. And you have the same. I love your voice. You sound very positive, and I think what you're doing is fantastic.
I'm honored, and I'm humble also.
Thank you.
It's really been an amazing time, really, with Paz Ellis on the show today, right? If you want to catch up with any of Miss episodes, just go online and search for Omobola Stephen on any podcast distribution platforms, and you have a truly inspiring and motivating time listening to the talk show. Till I come your way some other time, I need it to be good. With all my love, I talk to you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.